What's up, guys? We're going into a game of Gorgon. I think it's on Barracks, if I believe I am correct. There was a weird comp. I don't remember exactly what it was. I saw a Cabot, a Griffin, and I think an Emmet, if I remember correctly, which is really weird, and I'll talk about it. I just wanted to verify. Yeah, and then a Parnell. So this is a high damage comp, but the problem with this is going to be Griffin. I'm going to be able to target down Griffin pretty easily. Because Emmet doesn't do that great of a job healing any single target. Most of his healing comes out in AoE, and it's pretty weak overall if you focus someone down. Usually you have to pair Emmet with defensive support. I was talking a bit about using Emmet with Cabot because he has such high damage potential, and you can do a lot of pressure at stage 1, which they're going to have that pressure. The difference here is you really need a defensive Trapper to go along with that. They can keep themselves alive long enough so that Cabot, Assault, and Emmet can get through the monster's armor and actually deal some significant damage before the Trapper goes down. Usually I'll only pick Griffin when I have Hank or Sunny on my team. And I used to play Griffin quite a bit when I played Trapper. Like almost exclusively back when domes were a little harder to hit. I was doing that because I liked the positioning aspect of hunting. Anyway, you saw that I took away their Megamouth buff. I don't normally do that, but Barracks is one of those maps, if you see that buff, you can kill it before they catch up. You just have to spend a lot less time inside of the cave, because they'll catch up to you pretty quickly since you spent so much time dealing with that Megamouth. And you can get up on those ledges with Gorgon, and it makes it a little bit easier to not take damage when going after those early buffs. It's not as big of a deal to me, although I do want to practice more of my wall pouncing stuff. I really hope there is a bug currently with wall pouncing. I had it in only one game so far, but I don't wall pounce that much. But I don't want to do a ton of it until that bug's fixed. Where it's something where if like you pounce the hunter mid-air, you get like stuck inside of your pounce, but they're not taking damage, and you don't get shot off of them, and you can't let them go, and you just kind of lose the game from there. It's really frustrating when it happens, but I'm assuming that they're going to fix that with the next title update, and I think that's coming pretty soon, so... Actually, I know the date, but I don't remember. I think it's like January 29th is when Kayla's coming. So, my target here, at least for the start of the game, will be Trapper. And getting hit by that is going to make this a lot easier. The first strike's always the hardest, but he's already down. I could even technically stay if I wanted to, but I think I'll just take the Evolve. Because he went down pretty quickly. He wouldn't have went down quite as quickly if he didn't get hit by that spider trap. He kind of jumped right into the spider trap, probably didn't know where I threw it exactly. And now that the first strike has been put on him, it'll be a lot easier. I wonder if I can kill this. I'd like to. I'll just keep it in the back of my mind. That Nomad buff. I have movement speed and it's not even halfway through, so... Usually hunters don't like to go this far to the corner of the map because it really puts them in a hard spot to like ever catch back up to the monster, because they're so far away from him. If they were to go get it right now, I'd be on the other side of the map being ready to evolve before they, like, practically before they killed the buff and started heading back. I could probably get a free evolve off of it. At the very least, I'd be evolve ready for the next dome, which isn't exactly what they want. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of sneaking here. You can do it a little bit with Griffin. See if I can throw them off a bit. Looks like they might have an idea of where I am. Alright. I knew Cabot was going to throw the dust in that corner because they knew that I was going that way. I figured if I snuck back, maybe they would, like, I don't know, continue that way a little bit. thinking that the dust barely missed me. Could have gotten a good bit of distance that way. It's also really easy to figure out where the trapper is now because he's the only one with a strike. That was a weird leap. So I'm gonna go directly to the trapper here. And this should be a lot easier to get this down penalty, even if I don't get him with... Nice, I got a sneak attack. Sneak pounce off of the wall. This cave is really good for that. I wonder if... okay, I was wondering if the Assault used their shield at some point. But anyway, another strike on the trapper, and almost no damage dealt to me with a really highly aggressive team. So I'm happy with that. It'll just get even easier to kill off the trapper now. And that's the main reason, right? That's why I always analyze the hunter team before going into a match. It's really important, because you can get a good feel for who you need to target and why, and what your overall game plan is. Like, I knew before I even got into the first fight that my overall game plan was just to focus on the trapper. And like, I can play really aggressive now because I know that I can get out of domes. Right? I just killed off the trapper. Didn't even take... when I went into that fight, I didn't even have full armor. I had like half armor. And I didn't even take any health damage from that. And now I have 2 minutes to just do whatever I want and not even worry about a dome. So I could just create a little bit of distance and evolve if I wanted to. Might even be able to get a relay fight before the trapper drops, but I have to be careful that I don't get domed at like no armor. Even though it will be relatively easy to get out, I could take I could take like a quarter of my life, maybe a little bit more, if the trapper plays really well, and like the support cloaks him or something. Yeah, super important to analyze hunter teams. I was thinking about doing a video on that. I'm not sure how much interest there would be, but because I do it in the beginning of all of my games anyway. But I could just talk about hunter comps and how to properly analyze against them when you're playing monster. Might be interesting. So my next target's going to either be obviously support or a medic. Either one really work. It looks like Emmett's not even here, he's just dropping the relay. It's weird that he didn't drop the relay earlier. I have made that mistake before though, so... I don't know where he dropped it. Okay, he dropped it somewhere near the cave. Probably inside of the cave, so I won't be able to see it. Well, the dropship's gonna come in, or the relay rather, is gonna come in before I'll make it. I'm gonna go ahead and get some armor, because they're all gonna be back up. If I get domed, I'd take significant health damage. Oh, that spider actually got Emmett, that's kind of funny. At least I think that's where I threw it. I might have thrown it over and it hit one of the reinforcing ones. And now remembering that this buff is here, I'm gonna go ahead and take this. Yeah, a lot of the skill of what it takes to be like a decent monster doesn't really come into combat. It's all outside of combat. Remembering where buffs are, knowing where the buffs are in the first place, and then remembering which ones are on the map and coming back to them, and having good buff control, analyzing team comps before the game, knowing who to prioritize targeting, knowing how to like manipulate the hunter's position based on where you go and what information you give them. There's a lot of different mind games and stuff you can play to get control of a match. Get rid of sound spike. This is my favorite way to approach this relay. It gets me as close as possible and I don't have to climb up anything to actually get into the fight. Now that we're at the relay fight, I don't have to worry too much about getting rid of the trapper. Although maybe I should be. Got another little sneak attack off the wall. Something that I learned recently, you don't really have to have high walls to be able to do the sneak pounces. And it still does a decent amount of, like, there's like a minimum damage, I think, that it can do. And it's still decent, so. I'm at probably run away to throw down the beacon. And I have no idea where it is. I'm guessing it could be back in that cave again. I'm looking around for it right now. Oh, I think I see it coming out of the top there. I don't know if I'm going to get to it in time. There it is. Nice, I got it. Alright. Now I know he came up there, I see a couple footprints, and I see him now. This should be... yeah, this should be game. I don't know if he knows I'm there. He knows I'm there now! Alright, and that should be it. Thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.